All right, welcome everyone to a trip down memory lane, FIFA 13. This is the game I'm going to be doing my next rebuild on, and there's a very specific rebuild that I've always wanted to do, or well, I have done in the past, but never sim-wise. This is something I definitely have always wanted to do ever since I started watching this sport, like full on. And what it's going to be is I'm going to fix Spurs mistakes from, I know technically it wasn't this year, it was the summer of this year, after this year, but it doesn't matter because if I played FIFA 14, I'm pretty sure it would just reset to the final squads that game had, which Bale was on Real Madrid by then. I mean, Bale's literally wearing the Real Madrid shirt on the cover of the game, or on one of the covers. So yeah, I decided FIFA 13. And here I am to fix Spurs mistakes. In real life, they took the Bale money, a lot of money by the way, and they signed the Magnificent Seven. Now I'm going to put a picture of the Magnificent Seven up on the screen right now. You might notice there's only two players really that had any big impact at Spurs. Those two players are Eric Lamela, who realistically didn't have huge impact, but he had that Puskas goal in like 2019 or 2020, whatever year it was. And Christian Eriksen, who is a legend of the club, did really well. Great footballer. I mean, he's still playing. He's not as good as he used to be, but regardless, one of the better midfield players in the Premier League at the time, always in that top 5 kind of conversation. Now, the others, I can name them for you. Soldado, who cost 26 million pounds at the time, did nothing for the club. He scored like 7 goals in 2 seasons. Terrible signing. Etienne Capoue, who, you know, I think it was maybe a decent signing for the time, but he just never panned out. Vlad Chiriches, who was only at the club for 2 seasons, also cost about 9 million pounds and did fuck all realistically at the club as well. Now, Paulinho, I will say, was one of the better signings. You know, it wasn't the worst signing ever. Was it worth the fee? No, I don't think it was. He could have been a lot better than what he ended up being, but he was serviceable and he lasted quite a while, around almost as long as Eric Lamela. I'd like to make a side note though. Eric Lamela was a little bit overpaid, but again, serviceable, had that Puskas goal. That's the only thing he really has going for him. So yeah, Chadley is another signing that I think was quite decent, but was it like home run? No. I mean, he had a great season. He had that one great season, but that was about it. Like, again, he was good, just not like, I don't know. I think he was worth the price. I think he's the best value signing that we made that summer, but some of the choices that Spurs made in that summer with that money, they should have just held on to the money and waited for maybe players to get interested into the club. And really, it's hindsight 2020, but the only signing they should have made there was Christian Eriksen and arguably Chadley. I mean, Christian Eriksen was about a third of the price of Eric Lamela. And Christian Eriksen, you know, no shade to Lamela, but Christian Eriksen might just be 3 times that of a player that Eric Lamela ever was. Now, that's enough of me complaining about all the mistakes they made back then. Manager career, Dan the Man has returned. We're going to be taking over Spurs, fully simmed. I'm going to be clearing it out. Bale will be sold at the very first opportunity, and not because I don't like Bale, but I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible. I'm trying to sell Bale and see who I can sign with the money, and hopefully make better choices than Spurs did in real life all those years ago. The half length doesn't really matter. I'm going to bring it down to 4 minutes for the finals I will play. Financial strictness, I'll leave it all. I'll set it to pounds sterling. Play as AI. Wow, that is, they don't have this anymore, do they? Yeah, default squads. Yeah, there's not a lot of customization in this game. So let's head on to advance. Mr. Manager Dan has returned. He's gone back in time. Actually, this was his first gig where he turned around Spurs, and then he took on a challenge of Reggiana 10 years later. Dan the Man, but it's like a last name, so it's a Theman. I just thought of that on the spot. I think he was English. Was he English? Did I make him American in the... I'm just gonna assume he's English. I'm gonna leave him as English. Dan the Man. He's very light, and he's the man. So yeah, as I said, the objective of this rebuild is a treble. Anything less, you know, I could win the UCL and not win a treble, and the season won't be over. I'm going to give myself, again, 10-year maximum, 10-year deadline to win a treble with this team. It should honestly be a lot easier with this team, because there are a lot more players that I know from this era that are going to break out soon than I do in the modern era. Like, you know, I had to foot whiz a lot of them. Like, right now, I could just tell you, I could probably sign like Pogba. Or I could sell Bale and get Neymar, because Neymar is still at Santos. I could go the Spurs route and sign Heung-min Son, who probably has decent potential in this game. I could go the second Spurs route and sign Lucas Moura, who probably has great potential in this game. There are so many things I can do in this game. Like, I could say like, fuck Hugo Lloris, let me sign De Gea, but I'm not going to do that because Lloris is 100% fine. Now, the one thing I will go ahead and do before anything else is I want to form the Belgian wall. Spurs already have one half of the Belgian wall, but they are missing this man right here, Alderweireld. The Belgian wall was a great duo in the Premier League for a while, and they even made a Champions League final together. 23 years of age, 77 overall. Adds shortlist. I'm going to inquire about him. Something the game does not have anymore, by the way. And I'm just going to wait on that. We only have 17.5 million pounds of budget right now, which isn't that bad. But we can't really sign that many big name players with that type of money. We're going to have to wait for a bail offer to come in maybe mid-season because I don't think anyone's going to offer for him right now at this second. Anyways, Alderweireld is really the only signing I want to make right now. The only other thing I could think of doing is maybe getting a new striker because Jermaine Defoe is aging. He is God knows how old, but he is pretty old. He's 29, which actually isn't as old as I thought. Still got a few years. Sigurdsson is here, 22 years of age. He could stay for quite a while, actually. Scott Parker, 31. I think he could be sold. I gotta clear out some players here. William Gallas has got to go. You know, respect for the veteran, but 34 years of age, he's finished, man. Kyle Walker is definitely staying. I'm not making the same mistake of selling him as Spurs did not that long ago. Moussa Dembele sat on the bench. He's only 24, which is honestly, it makes sense because Sigurdsson over Dembele, a bit younger, more potential-wise. But Moussa Dembele in real life, 2-star weak foot. Oh God, what is that? Why does he have a 2-star weak foot? That is such a weird thing. And this is not modern FIFA. I can't just train up these weak foot and skill move ratings. So I just have to deal with that. With that being said, let me clear out the club somewhat. Just gonna add to the transfer list. 31. Yeah, you're too old, man. Sorry to say it, but you are done. Emmanuel Adebayor. I don't know what to do about Adebayor. He's a year younger than Jermaine Defoe, and he's a bit better. But I don't think I want to keep him, to be honest. I think I prefer Jermaine Defoe. Oh, I can't even, yeah. Okay, so he stays. Maybe Jermaine has to go. I really don't want to let Jermaine go yet, though. Kolker, showing great potential. Could just start him instead of Alderweireld. If I can't land him, I wouldn't mind that either. Livermore, a lot of youngsters. Clint Dempsey. Now, the American patriotic side in me is telling me to keep Clint Dempsey. You know, keep him. Let's win a UCL with Clint Dempsey. Win a treble even with Clint Dempsey. But the logical side in me is telling me I just gotta let go. I can't even let him go either. All right, well, he stays. Maybe we win something with him this year. Brado's staying. I mean, he's retiring anyways, 41 years of age. Adam Smith. Ryan Mason. Wow, look at that. Wait, you know, I didn't even think about this. Surely Harry Kane is here somewhere as well. Just seen Ryan Mason, so... Oh, Michael Dawson. Jeez. Danny Rose. Wow, look at that. Getting down... There he is. Harry Kane, 18 years of age, 67 overall. I'm almost tempted to recall him from loan and just start him, but that might be the stupidest idea I've ever had. Now, here's another thing I could totally do, and it's sell Jermaine Defoe. It hurts my heart a little bit to sell him like that. A lot of respect for Jermaine Defoe. However, there is a striker currently on the market who is young, has decent potential, and I already spoiled it earlier. It's Heung-min Son. He's technically a striker on this game, so he's not a left winger. He doesn't take Bale's position. He takes Jermaine Defoe's position. And coincidentally, oh, that makes sense. That's kind of my bad. Yeah, let me set his nation to Korean. Totally forgot to do that. I don't know why me putting in Son made me think that I could just put Son and get the Heung-min Son. Like, this is not modern FIFA. Why did I just go to S? Korean Republic. I think they called it back in the day. Ignore the fact that I thought K was in D through G. It's all good. Korean Republic. Submit search. But yeah, Heung-min Son was considered a striker in this game. Okay, come on. Whatever. I'll find him somehow, right? There he is. Heung-min Son, 19 years of age, showing great potential. He's 73 overall. I'm just saying. Now, I know it's a bit silly to send such a young player into the Prem, especially back then, straight in, starting. So that's not what I'm going to do. Especially because I still have Emmanuel Adebayor, who cannot even be sold currently. So Adebayor will be first in line with Heung-min Son backing him up. Hopefully coming off the bench. I hope this game works better than FC 25, because if it doesn't, then I know Son will not have a lick of playing time. The hope is that Son develops somewhat over this year, and the next year he can fully start and just play to his heart's content. Play and win games like he is meant to be doing. So those are the two players I will be looking at in the preseason. Hopefully we'll be able to make that signing, or those signings. One or the other would be fine. It doesn't really matter. Now all that's left is for an offer for Bale to come in. I'm going to sim through the preseason. There's literally nothing doing this game. Actually, that's a lie. There's literally the youth academy. I should probably do something about that. I don't have any scouts though. and they are a lot more expensive in this game than they are in modern FIFAs. So maybe I'll just hold off on that for now. There's no one in the youth squad. Again, not like modern FIFA where you already have someone just sitting in there waiting for you. You can also request funds in this. You know, I want to do this. I want to win the league title, so give me 100 million pounds. Obviously not gonna work. I'm gonna try to not do that, although I feel like it would help a lot if I was like, okay, I'm trying to qualify for this season, give me this amount of money. It's a really great feature, but I'm gonna try to just not use it in this rebuild. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna sim through a couple of days. There's the calendar sim. I mean, I could just let it play out. Much better than modern FIFA, by the way. Calendar sim. That's enough about ranting about how dog shit current FIFA is in terms of like presentation. Not even presentation. The presentation's not that bad. It's just like some weird changes they've made over the years that just make no sense to me. Anyways, again, enough yap. I'm gonna advance. I'm gonna look at what prices they want for Sun and Outer Way Road. Maybe I just don't get Outer Way Road at all. I change the future. I don't form the Belgian wall. I simply just go with a Calker route and see where it leads me. Now the board wants top 4, qualify for the UCL, called the Champions Cup because they don't have, or they didn't have the rights back then, but we all know what it is. And Outer Way Road, they consider a bid in the region of 6 million pounds, which isn't actually that bad, but I'm gonna wait to see how much Sun is. Now here's the Heung-min Son inquiry. He's only 4.4 million, which is pretty cheap. I'm instantly just gonna offer for it. Why not? It's Heung-min Son. I know he's gonna be a great player, but of course the game's gonna be different. Either way, 4.4 million is not that bad of a price for a young talent like himself. There it is, transfer offer instantly accepted. Well, it took a couple of days, but they have no problem with this offer. So I'm gonna instantly give him this contract, 5 years. Hopefully he takes it. Squad role, I would like him to be a rotation. Actually, I'll give him 3-year contract just so he feels a bit secure. Like after 3 years, he can be a higher role, you know? Maybe not how it works. But if he doesn't take this, I'll give him important just, you know, for the sake of it. Now, Sun takes a contract. Simple. 3-year contract, rotation, role on the club, no bonuses. 10,000 pounds a week. I would love to pay Sun this amount of money nowadays, but in modern FIFA, actually, he wouldn't be that expensive either way, but 4.4 million, you're not getting him for that cheap, even when he's like 37 in FIFA 25. There we are, though. Heung-min Son has arrived at the club, 73 overall. He goes straight onto the bench in favor of probably this Kyle Nodden guy. I finally received an offer. It's for Scott Parker. United want him for 3.2 million. Not sure how I feel about that. I'm going to try to get 4.2 for him, which is honestly not a lot, considering his stats, but back then 31 years old was pretty old for an outfield player. Now Paul Pogba, he's recently joined, so they're not interested. Well, I say I'll just take him on loan then. Full season loan, or no, you know what, short loan, half a season loan, so that maybe I can get him in the summer. No, that's wrong, in the winter. You know what, I'll just take him full season, why not? Oh, future fee, I'll give you a future fee actually of 4.5 million. I will overpay for him right now because I know he will be a better player in the future. Wow, they've decided to reject my offer. So you know what? Paul Pogba on loan. Maybe. We finally received an offer for Jermaine Defoe. Another Manchester United offer. They're just buying. Let me grab 6 million for him. Yes, please? Now that I'm looking at this team, I'm thinking I should sign a fullback because we kind of have a weak spot there. A little bit. I do happen to know a young fullback from around this time who would be a great value transfer right now. You might know him. He still plays football. It's David Alaba. Nowadays, you might be more used to seeing David Alaba as a center back, but he was a great fullback on his day. Honestly, he's a great center back too. Maybe not as much anymore after all those injuries he's taken, but still, solid player. David Alaba inquiry, 7 million pounds. I don't mind paying that much for him. Great player. I'm sure he's going to be one of the best fullbacks in the world, if not the best, by the end of this rebuild. There it is, David Alaba, transfer fee accepted. I'm going to offer him 4 years. Important first team player, 35,000 pounds a week. I'm sure he'll take that. He's sporadic at FC Bayern, so. Okay, so Alaba just told us no. He said he can be persuaded because he doesn't want to relocate right now. I will in fact persuade you, Alaba. How about 60,000 pounds a... No, that's a little too much. 50,000 pounds a week with a crucial role on the club and a 5-year contract with a 15% clean sheet bonus. How does that sound, David Alaba? You greedy little bastard. Yeah, it sounded great to him. I'm sure it did, Alaba. I'm sure it sounded amazing to you. Coming to my club. Come on, let's go. So yeah, with that being said, gonna sim to the midpoint of the season. I will see you there. This first part of the video has been dragging on quite a while, but I promise this is only for the first one. From here on out, it gets a lot shorter because I make 1 or 2 signings during the season and it just becomes rinse repeat. This season I had to establish what I'm doing and how I'm gonna do it, all this stuff. So it's just gonna be longer than usual. All right, we've made it to the midpoint of the season, and unlike in FC 25, I can see the table right here if I just wait for a while. All right, there's the table. We are 4th, which is actually a pretty good spot for, you know, my liking. And it's gone. Rooney's the top scorer. Adebayor and Bale have both scored 9 goals. Pretty good to see them splitting. 6 assists for Adebayor. He's doing pretty well this season. Dempsey's also got 6. Not half bad. Let's get out of the calendar though, because normally I would look through the months, but I have no clue what the results are from here. All I can do is look at the table and see what we've done so far. So our stats on the season is 12 wins, 6 draws, 2 losses. There's no real way to look at the games I've played. I mean, I could go through the fixtures like this manually. Oh, there we go. We beat Fulham. We also beat Liverpool 4-1 somehow. We drew against Everton. We beat Swansea City. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm just going to look at the results, wins, draw, losses, and going to ignore everything else. But what I will look at is the squad report to see how our players have been doing. I will be honest, I think this view is much nicer than the current view in FC 25. We can see Hugo Lloris, 17 appearances. He's grown 2 overall, which is also something you cannot see in modern FIFA. They removed it from like FC 25 because I swear it was in 24. Where if you looked at the player's attributes, you could see how much he grew. You can't do that anymore. So Hugo Lloris, now an 88 overall, 17 appearances, 5 clean sheets. It's the Prem. It's a hard league, so I'm not that surprised. Kyle Walker has grown 3, now an 81 overall. I did re-sign him. He asked for a new contract, so I gave him a bit extra cash. Not that much more, but he deserves it. Stephen Calker similarly has grown 3 overall, now a 77. Around the level of what Outer Way route was at the beginning of the season, so I'm starting to think my gamble on the Calker route has paid off for the most part. Vertonghen, no growth, that's fine. He's got 1 assist though, interesting. David Alaba has grown 1 overall, now 78 overall, with 1 goal in the league, only 9 appearances. Bit strange, but I think that's because Ikoto was starting over him for a while, and now Alaba is truly playing. Pogba, 1 appearance in the Premier League, yet he has grown 3 overall. I mean, his potential must be crazy for him to just be growing like that, so that's good to see. Sandro has grown 2 overall, 12 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, not half bad. Sigurdsson has grown 3 overall, up to a 79 overall, 4 goals in the league for him. 1 red card though, that's a strange one to see. Really do not like my players getting suspended on sim because it just seems kind of stupid, doesn't it? Aaron Lennon has grown 2 overall, has 5 goals so far in the season with 3 assists. We saw him on the table earlier, so he's doing pretty decently. Adebayor has only grown 1 overall. Apparently, interest is being shown by Real Madrid, which is kind of weird because they have Benzema. Do not take Adebayor. Please just take Bale like you did in real life. 10 goals on the season for Adebayor, 6 assists. He's doing very well in my opinion. 9 goals, 6 assists in 19 appearances. That's 15 GAs in 19 appearances. It's not bad at all. It's actually quite good for the Prem. Gareth Bale has grown 2 overall, has not a single assist in any competition, but he's got 10 goals. Not that bad, but also very strange to see from a winger. Clint Dempsey has not moved, but he's got 6 and 6 in 19 appearances. Michael Dawson has made some appearances, probably over Calker. Actually, I did not even check Calker's appearance stats. He's made 11, so decent split there between Dawson and Calker, or maybe it's someone else. Let me not skip forward there. Yeah, not bad. 1 yellow card for him. That's solid. He's just putting in his work. Huddleston has made 8 appearances. He's unhappy apparently. I mean, you can go if you want, bro. Like, I would just sign someone else, I'll be honest with you. Youngmin Son has grown 1 overall. He's made 13 appearances with 1 goal in the league. So at least he scored. I'm happy to see that. Musa Dembele is currently on a bad run of form according to the game. And I mean, if you look at his stats, the game's right. He's got 13 appearances with 1 assist in the league. That is subpar for his quality, really. Here's Ikoto, who's also grown in overall. He's got 8 appearances, done pretty decently. Kabul has made some appearances, and that's about it. No one else has appeared. Just some growth down here, the youngsters. doing whatever. Cudicini has gone down 4. Yeah, I told you. Retire, bro. It's okay. Hang up the boots. You've played good football for your career. Same thing with Fredo. But yeah, with the window now open again, I might make another signing. If I just look at, that's the wrong page, my budget. This is another thing you can no longer do in FIFA. They removed this in like 23 or 24, but when they changed the menus, they made it so you can't do this. I think it does it automatically for you, which is cool, I guess, but like I would love to just do this, you know, every now and then. Now I've got 25 million instead of the whatever 17 million I probably had before. So with that 20 million, I'll be looking at some players, some retro players to sign. Realistically, I think our weakest position right now, I can't really tell you, to be honest. I think all our positions are pretty solid. Maybe a new center mid. No, but Pogba's doing pretty decently, and if Moussa Dembele gets back in form, I think he does pretty solid too. Maybe I go out and search for another right winger or another winger to fill in for Bale when he finally gets sold. But I'll be honest, the thing, I'm going to spoil it right now. The thing I really want to do is when Bale gets sold, I want to go out and get a Brazilian wonder kid. You know, he's not that well known, by the name of Neymar. Wow. Okay, maybe not. Neymar has signed for Barcelona a year earlier than in real life for 29 million pounds. I couldn't have signed him when the season started. I didn't have quite enough money. Maybe I can snatch him up from Barcelona still. That is crazy. I did not expect that to happen. Neymar's not supposed to be there yet. He signed the next season around the same time that Bale signed with Real Madrid, you know, around that ballpark. But wow, he's already there. I can't do anything about it. I mean, I can inquire about him. I don't think I can afford him either way, but I can look at someone else, or I could just snatch him from Barcelona next season when I have enough money. Hopefully have enough money. That leads me down the other Brazilian route. Lucas Moura, who actually played for Spurs later on in his career, but he did go to PSG first. He is currently an exciting prospect, worth 20.5 million pounds. I will inquire about him. He will probably be worth so much more than he currently is, or his face value, I guess you could say. Now here's another future legend, Thomas Muller, who is only 23. It's kind of crazy to think about that he's been playing for Bayern since 2008. He's been there his whole career. He's 84 overall already, but he's only about 17 million, probably 22-ish million asking price from Bayern. Wouldn't be a terrible buy either. I mean, he turns into one of the best attacking midfielders of all time, World Cup winner, just genuinely sound bloke. Now, when you think of Thomas Muller, you think of Lewandowski.
Robert Lewandowski.
But when you think of Lewandowski, you think of his longtime friend, Marco Reus, who I believe in this game he's still playing with right now. But he's also 23, 84 overall, center forward, might be a good signing just for the future. Probably our main striker for the future. I mean, we could realistically look at Lewandowski as well, because he's a full-on striker. Let's have a look at that. I mean, there he is, Robert Lewandowski, 13 million, 24 years of age. He's kind of a no-brainer to sign, really. He's only 13 million, and we all know what he turns into. He's going to play decently in the sim. I mean, his overall is already pretty decent. He's better than Adebayor, I think, overall-wise. He's younger than him. I'll inquire. I'll see what I can do about that. Lewandowski is cheaper than Eriksen, and I don't mind it. I do not mind this signing. Lewandowski to Tottenham Hotspur. Here we go. Well, not yet, because they haven't even accepted. Okay, so was Dortmund just lying to us or something? Unacceptable offer. You literally just told me you would accept that offer. 14 million apparently is the price. I'm not really that picky over the price. It's fine. Plus, if we saw Adebayor, we need a striker anyways. Adebayor has received an offer from Lazio for only 8 million. I'm not taking that. I need at least 10 million from him. I'm not taking anything lower because he's just in such great form. There's no way I'm taking under his asking price. There we go. Wolfsburg. Oh, brother. I may have made a mistake. Wolfsburg just offered 14 million for him. Maybe I can just cancel that deal because this game has so many great features. Okay, yeah, I literally can't do anything about it. It's cooked. I just have to wait and hope that Lazio says we're not willing to pay 10 million and that Wolfsburg says, hell yeah, we're paying. Send him through. It's over. Lazio has accepted the deal. I can't believe I've just done that. And Real Madrid is offering 12 million. I have made such a terrible mistake. I cannot believe I've let this happen. I've let him go to Lazio for 2 million at the very least under what his asking price is. There we go. Lewandowski is coming to Spurs for 14 million, which would have been great business if we had accepted the Wolfsburg deal first, meaning Adebayor would have gone for 14.5 and we would have signed Lewandowski for 14 million. But I made such a huge mistake. Hopefully we can bring him on for 5 years, crucial role, 70,000 pounds a week. Please accept that offer. I'm so tired of this. All right, so Lewandowski, another greedy bastard. He wants more money. That's what they all want, isn't it? I'll offer you 90 grand a week. Crucial role. I should have given him a bonus, but whatever. Hopefully he takes it. I've given you 20,000 pounds extra per week. Please do not do this. There we go. Lewandowski is officially a Spurs player. Here we go. Now with the extra money, I'm pretty sure I could sign Eriksen if I really wanted to. And we've received an offer for Vertonghen. This is honestly an unacceptable offer for me. I could sign a better center back. I'm not really opposed to signing a better one. I'll have to look on the market later. Alright, well, I've worked through some small, minor things, but nothing really too major. That's what minor things mean. They're not major. The point is, there's nothing else for me to do. I was going to try to make a couple signings, but Lewandowski seems to be the only signing I'm probably going to make this season, or for the remainder of the season. I'm going to go ahead and sim to the end of the season, see how we do. Hopefully we make that Champions Cup or Champions League spot, and hopefully everyone has grown decently, especially Son, because I need that man to grow as much as he can this season. So I will see you at the end of the season when hopefully everything's gone well. Okay, so it's not the end of the season, but Kyle Walker has been very troublesome. He did not accept any of my contract offers. I offered him more than recommended every single time. I offered him like 60 grand a week at some point, and he just wouldn't take it. And then he said, oh no, I'm gonna let my contract run out and I'll decide where to go from there. And now he's asked me, put me on the transfer list. And I said, fuck no, you're staying here. And now the board has forced me to put him on the transfer list. No, I don't want to do that. Kyle Walker is part of this team. I don't give a shit what he thinks. You know, I'm starting to realize why we sold him in real life. This guy has an ego of like a god. I know this is probably not applying to real life, but I currently hate in-game Kyle Walker because he is a snake. He's snaking us. We're doing perfectly fine in the season, by the way. This ancient game, almost over a decade old at this point. You know, I have to watch almost everything play out. I know we're top 4. I know we're doing pretty decent. We've got that Champions Cup spot basically secured. We've got 2 games left in the season. I don't know what's wrong with Walker. And then he was tiptoeing around it all season. He was going, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to leave, boss. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay, but I'm starting to think about it. And then this guy says, oh, no, put me on the transfer list. You know, you can be on the transfer list all you want. I'm just going to block every offer. With that being said, I'll just sim the last 2 games. Hopefully nothing else like this happens. I can't believe this guy. I don't even know who I'm going to sign in his place. I could try Jordi Alba, to be fair. So might be a possible replacement for him. All right, that's the end of the season. I've seen where we've landed. We've landed 4th with about 79 points, just under Man City, who were 3rd. United won the league. Not all that surprising. Let me just back out to see the table. There it is. United win with 85 points. We're really not that far off. Chelsea, heartbreak for them. They lose on 7 goal difference. They just cannot win that league yet. I think next year might be our year, to be honest. We haven't had too bad of a season. The top 5 spots were all dominated. No one could catch us. 16 points clear Arsenal are of Everton. Liverpool down there in 7th. Very weird to look at considering where they are today and considering where Spurs are right now. But yeah, with that being said, let's have a look at what everyone's done. Lloris has not grown from earlier, but 15 clean sheets, not half bad. Walker has gone up 3, 1 goal, 43 appearances. But the snake wants out. Hulker also up 3. Michael Dawson is starting right now because Vertonghen picked up an injury for about 8 weeks or something, so he had to go out for a bit. Alaba has grown 2, 20 appearances. That's because Akoto starts over him every now and then. It's a bit weird. Hopefully Akoto can go next season and Alaba can be the full-fledged starter. Moussa Dembele has picked up his form, up 1 overall, 4 goals and 4 assists in 33 appearances. Sandro up 3 overall, matching Moussa Dembele now. 2 goals, 2 assists. Sigurdsson has remained after growing 3. 11 goals, 4 assists. Pretty impressive for him. Aaron Lennon similarly has 15 goals and 4 assists. 2 overall growth from him. I like to see that. Lewandowski has not had the greatest season. I saw he had like a solid 10 games or ish, like maybe 8 games, where he did not score a single goal. He had 1 assist, but he's grown 3 overall. He's up to an 86 overall, 4 goals, 2 assists, and 18 appearances. Not the best, but I mean, let's be honest, it's better than Soldado's like 4 goals in 2 seasons. He's only played half a season so far. Gareth Bale, on the other hand, 16 goals, 4 assists. That's 20 GAs and 43 appearances. Not crazy, especially considering what he can do in real life. Well, not anymore, but what he could do in real life. 88 overall now. He's worth 26 million, so maybe he goes next season. That would be the realistic part of it. Hopefully Real Madrid gives me an offer. I mean, if Barcelona gives me an offer, I'll take it too. Any big Spanish club or any club that gives me a big offer for Bale, I'm taking it. Last player I really want to highlight is Son, who's played 24 games, 3 goals. You know, not the greatest record, but he's also 20 years of age, 75 overall now. So hopefully he just keeps growing as much as he can. Similarly in growth, well, not really similarly in growth, but similarly growing player, 20 years of age. Paul Pogba's up to a 76. Hopefully I can sign him permanently next year because I would really like to have Paul Pogba on this team. But yeah, with that being said, that's the end of this season. But yeah, I'm just going to do some things off camera, like re-sign some contracts that need to be re-signed. And that's about it. I have nothing else to say. That's the end of the video. I'm done. You're such a snake, bro. All this for fucking just the extra bit of money. I literally offered you. I didn't even offer that much more money, bro. Oh my god. Whatever. You're staying now, I guess.